Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is day 7 of our polar parrot fish journey and I can barely contain my excitement. Why? Because today is one of the most anticipated moments in fish breeding. Yesterday we saw the wrigglers clinging to the spawning surface, twitching their tails as their bodies grew stronger. And now on day 7, we are standing at the very edge of transformation. The fry are preparing to leave behind their anchored stage and take their first steps, well, first swims into independence. Let's dive into what makes this day so special. So, the first question, obviously, on all our minds is what happens on day 7? Well, by day 7, wrigglers are entering a new phase of life. Their yolk sacs, that is, the little nutrient packs that sustained them since hatching, these yolk sacs are almost fully absorbed. This means that their bodies are hungry for more. And what's the natural next step? Well, it's free swimming. Now, if you look closely, you'll see the fry twitching more rapidly, almost as if they are testing out their new muscles. Their heads are no longer locked quite down as firmly, and you might even spot one or two daring fry breaking free, floating upward and then gently sinking back down. It's a magical preview of what's about to happen in full force. Now, this stage isn't just exciting for us, it's equally intense for the parents. The female is still fanning her fry with unwavering dedication. So, every flick of her fins ensures oxygen flows freely, keeping the environment fresh. So, she's the nurturer, the caregiver, the one who maintains the nest's delicate balance. Meanwhile, the male has turned into an even more vigilant protector. He patrols every inch of the tank, ever alert for invisible intruders. Even though there are no predators here, his instincts keep him on duty, guarding his young like a knight standing watch. And here's the most fascinating part. You might see the parents scooping up wrigglers in their mouths and spitting them back closer to the spawning site. Far from being rough, this is an act of protection. They are keeping their fry safe until the big leap. And this is teamwork in its purest form, nurture and protection side by side. So, how do we know that the fry are ready to swim freely? Well, first, look at their tails. They are flicking far more actively, and this indicates muscle strength and coordination. Secondly, you'll have to notice their heads. They no longer look firmly stuck to the surface. They sway, tilt, and sometimes lift. Thirdly, keep an eye on their yolk sacs. As they shrink, it's a sign that the fry are preparing to feed on their own. By day 7, you might even witness the first adventurous fry breaking free, swimming a few millimeters and then sinking gently back to the bottom. These tiny experiments signal the threshold of change. It's like watching a baby bird spread its wings for the first time. But let's not forget, day 7 is also a very vulnerable stage. Fry that break free too early without enough strength risk being swept into corners or stuck in the filter current. Poor water quality like ammonia spikes can be devastating right now. And if the parents feel threatened or overly stressed, their protective instincts can turn destructive. That's why aquarists must stay on top of water testing, stable tank temperature, and minimal disturbance. The goal is to provide a safe runway for these tiny swimmers to launch their new lives. Now, one of the things I love most about this stage is how it reflects life's natural rhythm of growth. The fry have spent days nourished by their yolk sacs and anchored to safety, but that can't last forever. Growth requires risk, and to move forward, they must let go of the anchor and take their first uncertain strokes into a wider world. Isn't that so much like us too? Whether it's leaving school, starting a new job, or stepping into unfamiliar territory, there's always a moment when we must break free from our anchors and test our own strength. And the fry teaches that readiness comes slowly with patience and preparation. And when the time is right, movement begins. So, here are some fun facts about their first swim. Most polar parrot fry begin free swimming between day 7 and day 8. That depends on temperature. The first swims aren't graceful, they're more like tiny wriggles through the water, followed by sudden drops. Parents often gather the fry into small groups called clouds or swarms, and this helps them to be together as they explore. And free swimming marks the beginning of external feeding, where aquarists can start introducing small powdered foods. So, yes, day 7 is the day before the menu expands. So, as we wrap up our update for day 7, let's pause and appreciate what we've witnessed. Tiny fry, once just eggs, have grown stronger. Their parents have stood by them tirelessly, and now we are moments away from one of the most beautiful sights in fish keeping, the first free swim. Tomorrow could very well be that breakthrough day when the wrigglers transform into free swimmers. And I promise you, it's going to be magical. So stay tuned for day 8 of our journey. If you've enjoyed today's update, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss the big reveal. Until next time, happy fish keeping, and let's keep cheering for these tiny pioneers of life.